Hi everyone, welcome to our video. We've got two guests here, Hans and Hetarth. Hans has been in the solar industry for quite a while, and myself as well. And Hetarth is just completed his studies, and he's starting off also wanting to enter the industry. So we thought it was good to have a conversation about how he can find a job in the solar industry or start off doing his own thing in the solar industry. Hans, if you can introduce yourself quickly, please.
Yeah, thanks, Johan, for the introduction, and thank you too for being here. And it's really a pleasure talking with you. I've been in the solar industry since 2009, more or less, and have worked on several continents and have worked in manufacturers, EPCs, installers, with distribution companies, with organizations, in the educational sector. And it has been a lot of fun, a really interesting journey. So yeah, that's why we're here, to talk with Hetarth a little bit about it, how to land a nice job to get started with that industry, right?
Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you, Hans. Okay, let's just a little short introduction about myself as well. I've already been in computer programming and IT. I've done that for 10 years, but then I was looking for a new challenge, something more exciting and rewarding and challenging. And then I chose renewable energies and solar power. And I did some of the first courses by Maxx-solar in South Africa. From there, I started helping other companies with doing their installations and learning all about the systems and how it works through them. And then customers started referring me directly, and yeah, I started doing my own installations and systems from there on, and then decided to start my own company.
Nice.
Yeah, that was about six years ago. That went quite well. Yeah, and did quite a lot of installations, residential and commercial. And 2 years ago, got offered a position in Germany with Maxx-solar actually, and I've been here for the last 2 years. Yeah, so that's my journey in a nutshell.
Nice.
Very interesting, yeah.
So Hetarth, if you can maybe just share a bit about yourself, what have you been doing the last few years, where you come from, where you are now, and so forth.
Yes, thank you, Johan. So my name is Hetarth Soni, and basically I'm from India. Currently, I'm pursuing my master degree in renewable energy system at Hochschule Nordhausen. And also in my past, I have studied a Bachelor of Mechanical Engineering in India as well. And after that, I also work in one of the multinational company called Zydus in India as a project engineer, as a junior project engineer, and where I was working as a engineer to install several machines for the like osmosis, small boiler, turbine, air compressor, etc. So I was contribute my role to commissioning all the machining, and then I was attracted towards the renewable energy during my work. So I took a decision that I want to pursue my further education in renewable energy itself. So that's why I was looking for a perfect course. So that's why I found my university, Hochschule-Nordhausen, and it was located in German countries, Germany. So that's why I parallelly started German language. So because it was required to take an admission in a German university, so that's why I started learning German, and then I completed A1 and A2 in India, and then I took an admission, and then I came here as my further education, and then after that, after completing 2 or 3 semester, and then I started internship at Seoul company where I was uh, doing maintenance and planning of the PV plants. So it was not a mandatory internship, but I wanted to learn some practical experience in the industry because I didn't have the practical experience in the industry. And then I am currently writing my master thesis on eco village of the development and make a energy system modeling with the OEMF software. And my plan is to run entire village energy out from the renewable. So that's about me.
That sounds like a very interesting journey, Hetarth, and an interesting project you're busy with currently for your masters. Can you share a bit more about that for us?
Yes. So my plan and my goal is to make area or village or city to out from the renewable 100% renewable, but currently I'm focusing on to converting all this uh, uh, from the renewable only the energy area, not the uh, whole area, but as also in my last semester I was working on a project called Energy System Modeling in Balearic Island. It was situated in Spain. So at that time, I was attracted to that subject that let's make a area or village or land from the renewable. So by this, we can one day we can uh, transfer all the whole the world from the renewable. So that's why I started from the village. So I choose a village called Landgut Girtenmühle. It's based in Saarland, state of the Germany, and the population of the village is about 10 to 15 people, and this village is also famous for the camping site. So lots of people across the world or across Germany they go there to camping and enjoy the rest of the free time. So my plan is to install the PV and a small wind turbine and battery storage to simulate all this system together and make a model and a framework in the Python's software to simulate that we can fulfill the demand of the village. So and make the village totally off grid. So that's the plan.
Okay, that sounds very exciting and interesting.
Yes, thank you.
After you completed after you completing your masters, what are your plans going forward?
Uh, Currently, in my study, in my master study, we do have uh, every kind of renewable subjects like a solar, photovoltaic, solar thermal, wind, biogas, biomass, liquid or gas both, life cycle analysis and everything. But my interest towards photovoltaic is much more rather than the others. But I do have knowledge of the all subjects and all the renewable sources. So currently, I am interested in to execute the solar projects, whether it can be a small projects or a large. So yeah, that's my interest currently in photovoltaic sector.
Okay, so you would like to be involved with the implementation of the actual and planning of actual solar projects.
Yes.
Okay, and have you approached any companies or applied for anything yet?
Yes. So parallelly, I am applying for several companies, but I do not know the how and for which positions I do exactly need to apply. But currently, I am applying as a project engineer and a project manager because I couldn't find a fresher position for the companies. So I'm little bit struggling with it. But yeah, as I said that I wanna start my career as to execute the projects in the photovoltaic area. So could you please explain me that how I can find jobs like this?
Great. Hans, maybe you can go first. If you were in Hetarth's position, what advice what would you do, knowing what you know and the experience you have?
All right. Yeah. And I think honestly, you're doing everything right. You have an amazing background with a mechanical engineering bachelor. Now you're doing a master thesis on a very exciting topic. You know your way around social media. And have I heard that you're also going to implement some Python software on that project?
Yes. So the thing is, the Python is already the well established the language, and my project I am going to import some libraries from the GitHub and the OEMOF. So the some of I do remember that 2 or 3 institutions of the Germany, they are developing the OEMOF libraries. So with that library, you can frame all the energy system in that framework. So by this framework, you can import the whole framework into the Python, and Python will directly simulate the result and will give you output that this amount of demand and energy you can expect from your plant and install plant, whether it can be a PV or wind, bio, etc.
Yeah, very nice. So I think in your position, you're going to have a lot of opportunities in Germany and across the world. And certainly, I mean, India is also coming very strong. So I think later on that you will have a huge amount of opportunities. You're doing networking in a very good way on LinkedIn. I see you every other day or every day on LinkedIn. So you have a big network. You know what you're doing there. I don't know, are you physically going to expos? Are you physically visiting and networking with interesting people out of the sector?
I haven't done, but I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is something that would definitely help you then, because you seem to be very social media savvy, but the real world still is many times person-on-person meetings, and people want to shake your hand and get to know you and learn a little bit more about you, and that is just ideal if you're visiting an expo. So that's one thing. If you're going to that expo, make sure that your CV is a really, really good CV. I would say that you need to make sure that it fulfills the German requirements for curriculum, which are particular, and it needs to have a photo, a really good photo, which it's totally worth paying for, and really getting the best photo of yourself that you can possibly get, and actually really getting help also with the CV, especially in German. It is worth it to make that investment because you might be sending out a lot, and it's the first impression. So that would be another advice that I could probably give you, and that in other countries they have other formats for the CVs, and you just need to be very clear about what is your selling point and what do you want. And I think you will get a lot of offers, a lot of opportunities. And what I would do in that situation, I would probably think, who do I want to work for? Like, who is the person I admire? And I can see myself basically doing everything for that person because I want to learn from that person. It's a great person to work with. And that way, I just think work becomes much more than just work, but it becomes actually kind of a calling and a cooperation. And so if you would have the option of working for a person that you admire, for a great boss, where you can learn a lot, I would choose that way. Other than that, I don't know if I can give you any more advice, because honestly, you're doing everything right, and I know you're a great guy. You're very smart. You're a hard worker. So every door will be open for you in the solar industry.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. I agree with that. Do you want to ask anything else, Hetarth?
Yes. So as I looking for the job on the social media like LinkedIn and the Zing and every social media. So the thing is, when I was going through the positions and the requirements and everything, I found that they are require 3 to 4 years or more than 5 years of experience when it comes for the project of the photovoltaic sector. So at that time, I might get worry about that. How could I fit for this role? Because at the time when I was thinking that I wanted to start my career in this field, definitely I want to work under the mentor who are genuinely lead the projects, so I can learn under them. So that's the thing that I'm worrying, that how can I found the fresher positions which can leads me through this kind of job.
Yeah.
So
if I can add there, that's always a challenge. Once you've completed your studies, you've got a very nice degree and so on, but you don't have any practical experience. And that's often a problem. People don't want to appoint you because you don't have the practical experience, and you can't get the practical experience because nobody wants to appoint you, which is a bit of a catch-22 situation. The nice thing in Germany is what they've got, the Ausbildung program.
Yes.
That's where they give new entrants that's just completed their studies practical experience in the field. They do it through the Handwerkskammer. So you would probably go to, for example, Handwerkskammer of Erfurt and apply for them for Ausbildungs program. And how that works is you work 2 weeks practically in the field, and then 2 weeks you do theory. So that's more for electrician, but yeah, it's more the practical side of solar. So not that you maybe want to become an electrician, but being in the Ausbildungs program, that will give you the practical experience for a year or two, and after that you'll definitely be able to find a job much easier because of the practical experience. And also having practical experience makes you a much better engineer, designing systems, quoting on systems, because you practically know how it works in the field. What's the problems, what to do, what not to do. So yeah, that's maybe an option you can look at if you stay in Germany.
Yes, definitely. I'll take that into consideration. But the thing is for the honestly, for the foreigners, the thing is, if you complete your studies, So after your studies, when your exmatriculation is generated by the university, the thing is that the German government will only allow you to stay up to 1 year or 1.5 year for as a job search visa. So within this time, I need to find a job. So otherwise, they don't allow to extend the work permit or visa.
Mostly companies are very keen to accept people as ausbilding people, because it's they pay enough for you to survive. It's not enough to become rich on, but enough to cover your costs, because you're only working half the time for them and half the time you're still studying.
Yes.
So I think most companies offer ausbilding programs. So maybe have a look at a company you admire and respect, and see if they offer ausbilding program, and then apply for that. And that's as good as having a job, basically.
Oh, that's a great. Yeah.
Yeah. Hans, do you want to add anything to that?
I think that's good advice. I think that in general, especially if you focus on the companies that are listed on LinkedIn, you have a lot of filters that might be automatical filters that just discard your CV because you don't have the 3 or 4 years experience. But then there are a lot of other companies, smaller companies, that might not have those filters, where all you need is really show that you're willing to provide value and put in the work, and they could also accept you. But they might not be as social media savvy as the big ones, so they're not listed on LinkedIn. Their jobs might not be listed in any of the social networks. So it's your task to kind of find them, and you would have kind of a double value for them, because one, obviously you would do the work that you want to do, and two, you always can give your input on social media and say, hey, I found you, it was difficult, make it more easy, and ramp up your social media strategy, for example. That could be another way to find them, because I know there are a lot of good, strong German companies. You would be surprised. I mean, you know Germany because you have lived there now for a while. But even I am always surprised as a German what kind of strong companies we have in little villages and little towns, and how exciting it is to work for them, because in the end, if you're building a solar park, if you're building it for BayWa, which is one of the largest companies in solar in Germany, or if you build it for Maxx-Solar, if you build it for another small company, you have still built a solar park. It will be the same. So if your goal is really to learn about solar and building projects, I'm confident that you can find something there.
Yes.
And just to add to something, currently the German solar market are really booming, because energy prices are going through the roofs. Price of fuel, of gas, has doubled in the last few months. So everybody is looking for solar now. So there's really a big demand for installers, for roof mounting people, for designers, basically all the fields. Even Maxx-Solar is moving into a much bigger building now, because the current place can't just, there's not enough place for everybody. So exciting time to be in the solar industry in Germany at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Get in, get your hands dirty, Peter.
And one more question. Having a degree of master and then having a knowledge in several softwares of designing and GIS software to geographical information and mechanical background, and having all this kind of knowledge, how much salary one can expect when they are entering into the market as a fresher?
That's a good question. I actually don't know. Hans, do you have any idea what people in Mexico earn, engineer level?
No, I mean, Mexico is totally different. Here, we're working very labor intensive, I think, and people are not earning that much. And in Germany, you have to be much more careful with whom you're hiring and what's the value that that person brings. So I think that's maybe the one difficult part of finding a job in Germany, that once you're hired, you're kind of the company made a big commitment there. So I don't know what they're willing to pay. To be honest, in Germany, I have no idea.
Yeah, if I would estimate, I would say about 4,000 per month gross.
Okay.
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Come again? What's that number?
About 4,000 per month gross. Yeah.
Gross, yeah.
So in Germany, the salaries are much more even between the handwerkers and the top managers and engineers. There's not such a big difference in salaries as in other countries, which is actually quite nice. Yeah.
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 Okay, so it means that 45,000 euros, around 45,000 euros per year brutto, right?
Yeah, I
That
would
would
say
be
at least
48, right? Yeah,
48.
I would
Yeah.
also go with that as the minimum. But I mean, yeah, it also depends on do you want to earn more money, or are you willing to?
Yes, yes, definitely. So, as I'm thinking that as a fresher, I wanna work and I wanna learn everything. So, of course, salary is not a prime factor for me, because as I learn and develop my skills, definitely money will come. But so first, I am focusing on to learn and develop my skills, learn everything from A to Z. So that's the motivation.
Yeah, one thing that I think is, I think given your skills on the with the social media and also with software programs, which you undoubtedly have, but you also have the mechanical engineering background. But I think there's always a risk that people are going to try to push you a little bit into that software direction, because that is also something that a lot of companies are looking for at the moment. So I think you have two skills that are very sought after in Germany and maybe even in the world. And yeah, so there you have two options, but you know what you want. You want to build PV projects, right? So this is your objective. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason I also mentioned is to try and join the house buildings program is then you're allowed to work with electricity and you're allowed to work on the roofs and so on. Germany is very strict, not to allow anybody that's not qualified to work on anything. So you can't just help out or something without having the proper qualifications in Germany, which is also quite a good thing. It's very regulated, unlike
Yes.
most other countries. Yeah, so to get a practical experience, you need some permission, basically, or qualification, even if it's just as a house building, to be able to do that. Yeah. So work under the supervision of a qualified electrician or a roofer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
But there's also so many options. You thought in the solar industry, depends on what you're passionate about and what you're good at. Do you like working with people and with sales? Those people also do very well. Yeah, do you like more programming or project management? or but as I said, it's always invaluable to have that practical experience of a year or two to physically mount panels and wire everything up. Yeah.
Yes. So also one question, that is that possible that company allows to, after completing my study, that I can join for the particular role about the project uh, development as an internship. So I do internship for several months there, then I can start a permanent role.
That's also an option. Yeah, it's Christine knows a little bit more about internships. I don't know exactly how that works in Germany. I think it's it's not paid or very low paid,
Yeah.
but also a great way to get that practical experience. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Hans, do you have anything to add or any other questions?
Yeah, to be honest, you have a mechanical engineering background. Now you're about to finish your master,
Yes.
and you already work in companies, and you have already proven that you can create value. I wouldn't go for an internship. I mean, the Ausbildung part, I think this is actually a smart way that you could choose. But I would try to go for
Internship rather.
No, I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't go for an internship. I really would not. That's just me. I would not do an internship after having a master, a bachelor, and already have done internship in other companies. I would try to really get into a company that appreciates your value and says, yes, we can work with you right away. You have to find that person that recognizes your value and probably that niche where you also fit in. But I do believe that companies are willing to hire you on the spot. Otherwise, if that really would be too difficult, which I don't believe, but if it would be, I think the Ausbildungsway is not a bad idea. It's actually a good idea if you're willing to again put in the years. What I can tell you about that is that I have a friend here from Mexico who went through the Ausbildung in Germany, and his German is impeccable. I mean, 100% impeccable. And the reason is, if you're studying in Germany, you're amongst students and they speak English with you, or you're not immersed in the German culture as you could be. But if you go into an Ausbildung in Germany, you will speak with proper Germans, and they will speak only German with you. And if you are fitting in there, you're really going to be integrated into German culture. So you become a German. Ausbildung is probably not only making you more professional in a practical way, but I think it's probably one of the best ways to really integrate into German society. That's just my opinion because I have that friend who went through the Ausbildung there, and he says that he has been treated like a German, and he speaks now German like a German, and for him it was a very great thing to do. So yeah, it's something that you could look at, especially if you're interested to stay in Germany for the long run, meaning more than 5 years. I think this is a great way. If you're just trying to get some experience in Germany and maybe taking some knowledge and then going into India or going to another country, well, then maybe that's not what you're after. But if you plan to really integrate into Germany and stay in the long run, Ausbildung is a smart thing to do, even after all your studies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say currently if your German is not on level B1 or B2 or S, C1 at least, then it's difficult to find jobs at a completely German company. And yeah, maybe then option would be at one of the big cities, Munich or Berlin, where it's more multicultural and English. You can find a position at the English-speaking company if you want to go directly into a job without having the practical experience or so on. But yeah, it would be a challenge designing systems and building systems without having done it yourself.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, I would just say the experience you get from working with people, that's immeasurable. How they teach you and show you how it practically works. Yeah, you can't really learn that in a course or anything, as when you do it yourself. Yeah. Great. Anything else, Hans?
yeah, I just want to repeat this again. Be aware of what you're bringing to the table. You're bringing very valuable skills to the table. I do believe with all your software skills and social media savviness, there is the risk that people are going to push you a bit more into that direction, because it's also easier for the companies to kind of put you into that box. If it would require them training you on the other skill that you want to acquire. If that makes any sense, they're looking at your CV and they're seeing, okay, he knows this, and that, and we could need it. So yes, come on board for doing that. If your mind, however, is made up on, I want to build solar projects, then pursue it and find the company that is willing to take you on for that. I really think you bring a lot to the table. Mechanical engineering background, I mean, come on, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, there is actually a lot of mechanical skills also required, believe it or not, designing the mounting systems, building the mounting systems, and so on. Wind loading, and drawing everything in AutoCAD. The mechanical skills will definitely come in handy there.
Yes.
Do you have any more questions or comments, Hetarth?
No. All the suggestions are very meaningful and very thoughtful. So I will definitely take this into consideration. I will definitely focus on to improve my German skills. Also, I came across that in the every job requirements, they are asking for the driving license also, and German language. So I will focus on that.
Okay, so you have to redo your driver's license as well here, or how does it work? You can't. Yeah.
No, I do not have the driving license, but I'm planning to take one. So within 6 months, I will get driving license for class
Okay.
2.
Great.
Sorry.
Great. Yeah, it does can require a lot of driving, delivering goods or going to site and going to clients. A lot of driving around. Mostly the people are not in the office. Okay. If you guys don't have anything else, I'd like to thank you very much for joining today. Hetarth, Hans, and hope to everybody it was helpful and you also learned how you can find a job if you're in Germany. Great. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
Johan. Thank you, Hetarth.